Wednesday and welcome to our 6th episode of A Look Behind the Job Posting. I am your host, Paul Moss, and I am one of the recruitment, marketing, and sourcing coordinators here at UNC Health. In these episodes, we're going to pull back the curtain and provide you with an in-depth look at some of UNC Health's departments and open positions. We have two fantastic guests for you today, as we'll be joined by a couple of registered nurses from UNC Health Rex's North Carolina Heart and Vascular Hospital in Raleigh. If you have any questions or feedback during the show, please throw your comments into the chat and we'll get them answered for you. Our first guest is a Clinical Nurse 3 from the 4HV Cardiovascular Intensive Care Unit. Please welcome Sarah Mason. Sarah, thank you for joining us today. Can you please provide us with a little background on the CICU?
The cardiac ICU provides care to patients requiring intensive care that are post-cardiac arrest, who have had heart attacks, patients that have heart arrhythmia issues that need temporary pacing wires, also patients that are septic, patients that are in cardiogenic shock, patients requiring balloon pumps, patients requiring other cardiac devices such as the Impella device, which is a heart pump that is basically a left ventricular assistive device that we use during shock, cardiovascular shock. It is also a place where patients come for pacemakers, defibrillators, and a variety of other type of intensive care. It doesn't just stop at cardiac. We have a lot of other patients that we see related to surgeries, gastric surgeries, and other issues if required. We see those patients.
It sounds like you definitely have a lot going on there. Can you tell me what attracted you to the cardiovascular side of nursing?
I chose cardiovascular when I was a new grad, and I started in the intermediate care floors at Rex. And I love cardiac because there's so many avenues you can go down in cardiac nursing. You can there's blockages in your heart that need to be fixed. There's arrhythmia problems. And then there's the actual function of your heart and heart failure patients. There's just so many different types of things that can go wrong with your heart that to me is just really fascinating. And it's like a puzzle. And it's so complicated that I love just learning more about it and just getting more knowledge about the cardiovascular system.
I like the puzzle analogy that you gave. What are some of the most important skills for a cardiac intensive care nurse to have?
I would say definitely critical thinking skills. We're always with a good team of people. We're always with our providers, but you definitely have to be quick thinking and thinking on your feet so you can see when there's quick changes happening to your patients. You're able to and act quickly and see when you need to intervene quickly.
Do you have to be certified in any specific areas of nursing to work on this unit?
You don't need to be certified in any specific area to be working on our unit, but we have such a great culture of encouragement and growth that our clinical nurse educator, she helps get you, some education that you would need to get certified in critical care nursing. So if that's something you're interested in pursuing, you have the opportunity to pursue that if you choose to. It's also Rex will help pay for your testing when you're ready to get certified, they'll cover that for you. So it is really a great opportunity to learn and then also supportive environment to be certified as well, but not required.
So what makes the CICU different from other areas of nursing?
I think what makes the CICU different from other areas is just the culture on our unit is really special. We work really closely with the providers and we have a really great team. Everybody works really closely together. Everybody gets along really nicely on our unit. And I think that really makes it so special of a place to work. Even if you're having a really busy, crazy day, everybody is so supportive. Everybody is right there with you, helping you every step of the way. Nobody's going to let you drown. Nobody's going to let you fall behind. Everybody's there with you, supporting you. We have a great manager and team leaders who really care about you, and providers too. They know when you're busy, and they know when, things are going on, and they sense that, and they participate even in our potlucks. They're so great.
Speaking of potlucks, does the CICU do anything fun or interesting that other units may not do?
Our manager is very, she has a very culinary kind of intuition. She makes, like, Thanksgiving's coming up, and she makes turkeys and brings those in for us to have. We have our own popcorn machine, which I know other units don't have a popcorn machine. So we make popcorn with all the toppings. We have night shift. We'll have like random parties and potlucks with each other, with the providers, and they have fun sign up sheets. We have a kickball league that one of the intensivists runs, and he sends out the emails for the kickball. So that's interdisciplinary with the physicians and the nurses. If anybody's interested, he sends out the practices and things like that, which is really cool.
I love that you guys do quite a bit with all the food and the kickball and everything else. You told me a little bit about the culture for the CICU. Can you please describe the overall nursing culture at Rex?
Yeah, I'd say the overall culture at Rex is that of family oriented. You're not just working just on your unit. It's the whole hospital is really one collective, unit. Everybody smiles at each other when you walk down the hallway. People, are friendly in the cafeteria, and, you're not just a small fish in a big sea. You really can make a difference here. There's so many things to get involved with outside of your unit, with shared governance. It just makes you feel like you're really making a difference for the hospital, and makes the atmosphere of working here really special, meaning that the hospital really cares about its staff, not just nurses in general, just all the staff. And that goes true for the staff across the hospital. They have the same culture. They smile at you too when you walk down the hallway. They get along great with interdisciplinary staff, and it is really a really special family.
That's wonderful to hear. Now, for my last question, if you can go back in time with the knowledge that you have now, what advice would you give yourself as a nursing student?
I would say just relax, because you're gonna make it out of nursing school. You're gonna make it out alive. It's only 2 years of your life. Just try to take everything in stride and take it one step at a time, and you'll be there. That would probably be my best advice.
Sarah, we really value your insight. Thank you so much for your time. Our next guest also works in the CICU as a RN clinical nurse too. Please welcome Kenny Clune. Kenny, I understand you started in a cath lab before transitioning over to the CICU. How has that transition gone, and what are some of the challenges you faced early on?
The transition was really good. Both the staff at the cath lab and CICU both picked up like where I was at with everything, and was able to set me up successfully here in the CICU. In the beginning, it was just kind of like what Sarah said, being a new grad, just being patient with yourself, just learning everything, and just knowing that it takes time. That's the biggest thing that to take home, and also like prioritization of care. But that comes with the same thing. It just takes time to get that all down.
Is there anything you wish you knew before coming into the position?
I think at the CICU, everyone prepares you pretty well. They know that you're new. We also have a lot of seasoned staff that know where you're at in your journey. At no point did I ever feel alone. I could always ask questions, and it's a great culture.
Can you tell me what a typical day as a registered nurse is like in the CICU?
In the morning, we get a report. After our report, we'll do a thorough assessment of our patient. After that, doctors and the team come together, figure out what the plan is for the day for that patient individually. And then from there, it's us implementing our orders and doing the tasks that needs to be done to make sure we do good patient care.
With all that is happening on the floor, how does your team work and stay calm while under pressure?
I think Sarah said this earlier too, like every person on the unit is very team oriented. So I think we got a lot of resilience knowing that all of us got each other's back, and at no point is it just you're fishing alone out there. You have a lot of support.
Support is definitely key. How would you describe the working relationships between the staff and the environment on the floor?
I think the staff has the ability to multitask really well. We all meet our goals by doing our prioritization of each thing that needs to be done throughout the day.
What would you say you enjoy most about working on the CICU? And what do you enjoy most about being an ICU nurse?
CICU here, also cardiac. I really love cardiac, coming from paramedic background, learning everything about the heart. We all have each other's back. And as I said before, like, I feel like everyone has each other's back when you have a critical patient or vice versa, or if you're helping out somebody else. I was in the cath lab. I love the cath lab, but I didn't have as much patient care. Being in CICU, being with the family, being with the patient, I really loved that part. I didn't think I would miss it that much, but it's a big component. And then also just being able to work within a great team that I know that all of us are, trying our best to get sick patients well together.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned while working in the CICU?
Every action that we do here on the ICU matters. So it's a humbling experience. It's a great privilege, but it's also a great responsibility. And being with the patients and being with the family, seeing that you're making a difference.
Both of you are making a huge difference. So you guys are unsung heroes amongst the medical community. So thank you. And Kenny, you've been wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. That concludes our episode for today. Be sure to tune in next month for another look behind the job posting. Until then, remember to see yourself at UNC Health.